Hi, I'm Michelle Stone. I'm a psychology student from the University of New England in Australia. Today I'm talking to you about cynophobia. What is it? It is an overwhelming and persistent fear of dogs. It derives from the ancient Greek word for dog, which is kinos, and the ancient Greek word for fear, phobos. It's a very real problem for a lot of people, but it's not a sustainable one. So let's talk about gradual exposure therapy and how that might help you overcome your fear of dogs. The first thing we would do is look at assessing the problem. More information is more. For many people, it might be an encounter that they had with a dog in their youth or as an adult. There may be other factors to consider. It's not uncommon for people who suffer from cynophobia to also suffer from depression and anxiety. So when we're looking at the triggers and the degrees of the fear, we might also ask a number of questions such as, what is it about dogs that bothers you? Number 2, what would you expect to happen when you saw a dog, encountered a dog in the street? And thirdly, is it a reasonable expectation that you may have that outcome? These are the questions that we would consider. Now, in addition to this, we would develop a very useful tool called a fear hierarchy, which is just a fancy way of talking about how you feel as you encounter a dog or think about encountering a dog. On a scale from 0 to 100, we rate the level of fear. So it may be a fear of 10 points for looking at a photo of a dog versus at the extreme other end of the scale, 100 points at the very thought of being with a dog, either at the park or at home, or patting a dog. This is called SUDS, the Subjective Units of Distress Scale. Once we rate these fears on this scale, we can then use them post-treatment to understand whether there's been some sort of progress with your phobia. So congratulations on having the courage to undertake this. Let's talk about the treatment. The first thing I'd like you to do is to recruit somebody that you trust as your support person who will encourage you, give you lots of meaningful praise and help you along your journey. It's probably a great idea if this person likes dogs, isn't fearful of them at all. And also, you will have to arrange access to a dog that is known to be a friendly dog who's never displayed any violence in the past, probably one of those so-called designer dogs. Obviously, you don't want any harm to come to you throughout the process of gradual exposure therapy. Now, once you've got that established, you can start to talk about taking one step at a time up that scale. And once you've been able to establish yourself at each step for a minimum of 7 minutes, then you can progress to the next step. Perhaps your support person can demonstrate the steps for you to help you along the way. And it's important to understand that you need to be kind to yourself. If you are not going to be progressing to a particular step and you might want to take one or two steps back, allow yourself to do so. There's no pressure on you other than the pressure you put on yourself. So take your time with this, be kind to yourself. Also, I'd like you to consider praising yourself. Self-talk can be extremely powerful in addition to the praise that you get from your support person. And also consider rewarding yourself. Rewards can be great motivators, either at each step along the way or if you achieve your ultimate aim of being with a dog in a park or at home or patting a dog. And overall, when you begin on this journey, make sure that you're ready for it. Don't try to attempt the first step or this program on a day where you're feeling low or you're feeling busy or you haven't slept well or perhaps you're feeling physically ill. Wait until you feel calm and ready to do this gradual exposure therapy. That will give you the greatest chance of success if you're in the right physical and mental frame. So remember the key tools that we've talked about: people, praise, and presence. Make sure you've got the people or person that you need to support you along the way. Make sure that you're kind to yourself and praise yourself. each step of the way as you progress. And even if you don't progress, even just for trying. And thirdly, presence. Make sure you identify something that you can reward yourself with as you go along in this program. So finally, thanks for listening, and I wish you all the best as you tackle your cynophobia.